Bonnie Blue just crossed a line that has the internet completely disgusted. Her shocking pregnancy stunt, her so-called baby shower, and the way she defended it on live radio has people asking one serious question. Has fame gone way too far? This Bonnie Blue controversy gets darker by the second. And once you hear what she actually said, you'll understand why everyone is losing their minds. This is Internet Chaos Report. Remember to like and subscribe because we're posting videos like this every single day. Now let's get into it.
Did I hear right that you have a stunt planned for June?
Yes, I have a baby shower on next Saturday, and I'm inviting the public to turn my baby shower into a golden shower.
What the fuck? That's fucking great. Does she want a bunch of people to piss on her? Or what?
You see, now I'm uncomfortable.
Every now and then, I'll make a video that, with my YouTuber senses, I can kind of tell before I even upload it that, like, people are probably going to argue in the comment section. And usually, when I do that, I'll, like, jokingly say, can we keep it civil? You know, something silly. And I feel like that always...
Who's arguing that this is okay? That's weird.
Makes it worse. So I'm going to try something different today. Really go at it, guys. Just get mean. But I will ask one thing. If it starts to go too far, if you find yourself kind of losing yourself in the argument, you guys need a uniting factor. Just start making fun of me, okay? Stop being mean to each other and just start making fun of me. Say I have a stupid mustache or something. Let's keep it not civil. Okay, I'll be back with the results of this experiment in 48 hours. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that a lot of you would read a title like the Bonnie Blue situation is disgusting, or, you know, whatever the title ends up being. I never really know. I like to live life on the edge. But you'd read a title along those lines and think something like, yeah, isn't that kind of the point? And to that, I would say, you know what? That's fair. Bonnie Blue's whole thing seems to be doing shit that most people, maybe most people is an understatement, but things that most people are not willing to do. However, today we're talking about how Bonnie Blue has taken that idea and taken it to a place that honestly I think should be too far for everybody. Now, this is the first time I've ever talked about Bonnie Blue on this channel because I don't really give a shit about what a porn star does. If people want to make porn, if people want to watch porn, that's not something
should be illegal.
I'm gonna lose sleep over. It seems like a lot of people have lost a lot of sleep over Bonnie Blue because she has done some pretty interesting things. If you've never heard of this name, if you
fucked up things,
you have no idea who this lady is. Like I said in the beginning, she's sort of infamous for doing things that most people wouldn't be willing to. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, last year she had sex with over 1,000 men in a 12-hour period. Definitely not some—
A 12-hour period? 1,000? That doesn't make any fucking sense. It's impossible.
Something I see the average person going out to try. However, like I said earlier, a bunch of adults getting together to run the grossest train imaginable is not something I'm really gonna lose sleep over. If they're all having fun, if they're all having a good time, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, no. That's just wrong.
What I might lose a few winks over, however, is Bonnie Blue, who is pregnant now. If I didn't mention that already, that's important. Deciding to turn her baby shower into a giant golden shower where she's gonna let a bunch of dudes piss on her instead of, I guess, the more boring alternative of eating some deviled eggs and getting some gifts. Yeah, so recently Bonnie Blue went on a British radio show called LBC where she talked about, like, her influence and her pregnancy, and this came up, and honestly, I don't even know what to say about it. We're gonna take a look at the clip and then talk about it some more because I think this might honestly be one of the most insane things I have ever heard a human being say. Yippee. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
You have more, you're continuing throughout your pregnancy or so far in your pregnancy to do your work. And did I hear right that you have a stunt planned for June?
Yes, I have a baby shower on next Saturday, and I'm inviting the public to turn my baby shower into a golden shower.
Okay, so truthfully and honestly, I am not a prude. I'm a pretty open-minded, progressive person. With that being said, I think that even saying that sentence should get you sent to a federal prison. In my opinion, I think that
Yeah, no, this bitch should go to jail for this. That's disgusting. Like, I feel like you could give your kid some type of disease by this, you know? Like, piss is not this most sanitary thing, I wouldn't think. So, if people have diseases and all sorts of shit, you could probably spread that to your kid. This is disgusting.
Doing something like this is an extreme violation of this child. Doing porn while pregnant is a thing that is morally debated pretty often.
Shouldn't be done, although I think that porn shouldn't be done. So,
And it's something that I'm not really going to get into today. I'm not going to get stuck in the weeds because I think that this is not like a separate thing, but it's definitely different. You know, I think there is a major difference between filming a pornographic movie while you happen to be pregnant and turning your baby shower into a pornographic shock value fest where you invite members of the public to come piss on you. You know, this is turning the spectacle of everything that you would typically do while you're pregnant into nothing more than an opportunity for pornographic shock content. Like, this is something that will follow this human.
Who's jerking off to this, by the way? Who's jerking off to her getting pissed on while she's pregnant by a bunch of dudes? What the fuck? Is there people who are jerking off to this, or is this just like more of like the 2 girls 1 cup, the shock like videos that you used to see online, you know, where you're like, dude, look at this is fucked up. And then your friends are like, oh, what the fuck, dude? Why the fuck did you show me that, you know?
Being who has no say in this whatsoever for their entire life, because I promise you when Bonnie Blue has a fucking kid.
Or were there people who were jerking off to the 2 girls 1 cup? Also, were people jerking off to that, or was that more? I don't know.
People are going to do everything they can to figure out who it is, especially with her doing shit like this.
You see, now I'm uncomfortable. I haven't been uncomfortable at all in our conversation, and you're delightful to meet. Now I'm uncomfortable. This is your baby. This is your child.
Yeah. Again, my body, this is what I'm choosing.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Your body, my choice.
My body as well.
Yeah, but when you have sex with them, again, it goes back to whether you're having sex with one person, which most people do throughout their pregnancy, or a group of different people with different sized penises. It's the same thing. Like, if you couldn't have sex during pregnancy, I would not have sex. But you can have sex, so I will have sex.
Okay, so I feel like it's very obvious here that the issue is not that you're having sex while you're pregnant. It's that you're filming your baby shower, which you're turning into a golden shower, and posting it onto the fucking internet. If a pregnant woman has sex while she's pregnant...
Yeah, dude, that baby's gonna be fucked up for life. Like, what the fuck?
That does not follow the person around for the rest of their life once they're born. This does. And there's a certain responsibility that any halfway decent person would feel towards
you know how much you'd get made fun of in, like, middle school if people found out that you were the baby whose mom threw a golden shower for your baby shower? You know how much you'd get made fun of? I got made fun of for having red hair. You don't think that if people found out that you got pissed on when you were in the womb, that and your mom got pissed on, that you wouldn't get made fun of? You're definitely getting made fun of, and it's going to have a lot of psychological problems. Like, that kid is going to have a lot of psychological problems because of this.
Or child, to not make them endure that, especially when all you're getting out of it is money and fame. It's not like you're doing this to survive or doing this to ensure anything. You're doing this because you want more money.
I'm not worried about you having sex in pregnancy. I just think turning a baby shower, or do you regard it as a fake baby shower?
Yeah, it's like a fake baby shower. I won't be inviting my family.
No, but your baby's with you.
Of course, but the baby's with me for the whole 9-10 months, so...
Just make it a sex...
Oh, what the fuck?
Sex event.
Because I'm pregnant, pregnancy is a big fetish for a lot of people, and... yeah, who knows, I might only be pregnant once, so I'm going to make the most of it.
Yeah, so I feel like if your main focus while pregnant is I need to make as much porn as possible, rather than maybe I should start...
I might only be pregnant once, so I gotta make the most of it. I need to make the most money off of degrading myself and my child as I possibly can, instead of just being a good mother. Dude. Oh, this woman needs to go to prison for the rest of her life, to be honest. Straight to jail. This is why women shouldn't vote, to be honest. Because, like, no man is coming up with something like this. Like, what the fuck? Why is this a thing?
Preparing to be a parent, your priorities might be a little mixed up. Maybe just a touch. Social media truly has ruined us, hasn't it?
Do you worry, and I didn't expect to go here in this interview, but do you worry that your baby might be taken off you?
No.
It should. Yeah, the baby should be taken away by CPS, or I don't know what the fuck that is in Britain, but whatever it is, they should take away her baby and put her in prison.
There's one thing which is social media and there's one thing which is reality. And I think, well, I've seen the state of some families, especially in the UK, and they've got kids and continue to have kids and get funded by the government to keep pushing more out.
I feel like the whole social media is different than real life thing is a pretty shitty cop-out in this situation. Also,
you're getting pissed on in real life. It's not like this is like an AI generated thing. You're still getting pissed on. So I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
yeah, a lot of people have kids when they probably shouldn't, but they're probably not doing it as publicly as you are. I mean, you are advertising the fact that you are putting your kid in a situation that a lot of people, some of who are in the position to decide who gets to keep their children, would agree you should probably not be putting your kid in.
So I don't worry at all that I'll have my child taken off me.
Even though you're openly there, I know you're saying you're not using your child, but I don't. I would argue that you are using your child, because again, it's that neutrality thing that you use in conversations. I don't know whether it's planned or whether it's just how you interpret things, but it isn't neutral to have a baby in the kind of setting you're just describing.
Okay, so I feel like this is a very good point, and it's something.
What do you mean it isn't neutral? I would describe this as not just neutral. This is fucked up.
Thing that I think should really be considered. To me, putting yourself in this sort of situation is like the social danger equivalent of the physical danger that you'd put you and your baby at if you got on like a motorcycle while you were pregnant. Is it the most morally detestable, most dangerous thing you could possibly do while you're pregnant? No. But I feel like anybody who's looking at this through a fair lens can recognize that it's a risk that nonetheless you should not be taking. Like I said, this will follow this kid around forever. And it is not fair for you to put that on that child.
Like most things I do, you'd probably be disgusted in.
It's not fair for her to be a porn star in general and put that on her child. You know what I'm saying?
Or you'd be like,
It's not discussed.
So this is just like escalating it to a crazy new degree.
Honestly, it's not. It's concern, not discussed.
yeah. But again, if people was actually there, it's not as intimidating. These men are actually really sweet, they're nice people. But you only...
These men are really sweet who are going to piss on me. They're really sweet men. They're going to piss all over me.
see the idea that I've had sex with all these men and it's not a nice environment, and that's not the reality, and there's more to show behind the scenes.
Again, I don't really think people's main concern is the idea that, like, this setting itself is dangerous. That is something that should be thought about, because honestly, I don't think the average man who is willing to do something like this is somebody that you should, like, trust. You know, maybe that's me being closed-minded, but I've known a lot of dudes in my life, and I don't think I've ever met a person who would be willing to do this. So, it's pretty out there. But while that...
Yeah, no, I don't know how many... And they're probably doing it for free, because they're just perverted. You know, it's not like she's paying all these dudes. So, like, maybe I know some people who might do it for a decent amount of money, but other than that, if to do it for free is crazy. To do it at all is crazy, but to do it for free, I mean, you have to be, like, perverted, you know?
It's something that I think is worthwhile thinking about. Again, I don't think it's the main issue. I think it's the fact that this is going to be immortalized on the internet forever. It's going to be somebody's baby shower where their mom got pissed on by a bunch of random dudes while they were in her womb. And I don't really think, again, that is a fair thing to put on somebody.
But until your baby's born, he or she has to come along for the ride.
Yeah, it's... Again, if the sex was harmful, I wouldn't do it, but it's not harmful. And it would just
I think having piss all over you might be harmful.
be down to people's
And also the type of sex that you're having could be harmful. You're having sex with a bunch of different dudes. They could have some type of disease. You don't fucking know.
opinion, whether they agree. And a lot of people won't agree with it.
I mean, I assume that they're getting, like, STD tests and all that. I would assume. At the bare minimum, you would hope so. I mean, still not good even if they are, but like, oh man, this is fucked up.
And it's going to have a shock factor to it, and people are going to be...
No, really, it's not. It's going to have a shock factor to it. You dumb... Fuck off. This woman should be fucking burned at the stake, dude. We need to bring back fucking burning women. Burning women is what we need to bring back. I think that would, like, instantly solve the problem in our country. We just need to start burning women again. Okay? Just put them on the fucking stake, dude. Burn them. Let's call it a day. We're just going to start burning women again. That's what needs to happen.
Angered, and that's part of it.
Okay, so again, I don't really think that this is being presented all that fairly. If you want to say that, like, physically everything is above board, like you're making sure the guys that are coming in have, like, good intentions and they don't, like, mean to harm you, okay.
Good intentions to piss on you. Fucking what the fuck?
Yeah, sure, that's one thing. Saying that the baby is not in physical danger is different than saying that it's not dangerous at all. Because again, there is like a social and moral aspect of this that just cannot be ignored just because like you don't agree with it. And I think that's kind of how she's framing this. It seems like she thinks that there shouldn't be any moral obligations or like social repercussions for this, and therefore she's acting like there aren't any, but that's just not the case. Believe it or not, a lot of people grow up to be nothing like their parents, and I feel like there's a very, very, very good chance that this kid is not super happy with all this going down, and you can say that it's her choice, she can do whatever she wants, and like if you really stand on that, okay, I disagree. There's a stark difference between trying to take away a woman's freedom and being reasonable about what is normal and acceptable behavior while a person is pregnant. Just like you wouldn't say it's taking away a woman's autonomy by saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't drink while you're pregnant. In my opinion, this is a similar thing. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether it's a moral failing of our society, whether or not we're all prudes, whatever you might want to say it might be, this will have a negative effect on this kid. There is no doubt about it. And if you want to live in a fantasy land and pretend like that's not the case, okay, that's your prerogative, I guess, but you're wrong. I'm all for bodily autonomy. I'm all for making whatever decision you want to make for yourself, but guess what? This is not a decision that just affects Bonnie Blue. And once you step into that territory, guess what? It's not just about you anymore. There's no way around that.
One thing, though, is that the LBC is kind of complicit in this because they're giving her free, like, promotion by doing this. So, like, fuck them, too. They shouldn't have even interviewed this dumb cunt. She should be, like, not interviewable. Like, it should be like a Nick Fuentes situation, but this one's actually justifiable to where you get like tons of hate and like just everything thrown at you if you interview this dumb bitch, dude. Holy shit. You should be like hated for interviewing this woman.
It is your responsibility as a parent sometimes to abstain from certain behaviors.
Even if you disagree with her, you should be hated for interviewing this fucking cunt, dude. I don't like this bitch one bit. What the fuck? Yeah.
That you might really enjoy if they are going to negatively affect your kid. And that's not an opinion. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said,
I think that this bitch should go to prison for the rest of her life. And her baby should be taken away from her once it's born. And that's my thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe because we're posting videos like this every single day. Peace.